can't give up now.
I will not be slandered! General, you saw my reports. You know it's not my fault.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
If I had been given drow warriors instead of goblin trash!
Oi! What?
You scrag!
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
Let me make sure I understand this. You're claiming that General Thorm gave you the wrong soldiers?
Yes. No!
You blame the Absolute's Chosen for your failure?
Of course it is not the General's fault.
Whose then?
Zarel's mind is a steel trap, but you cautiously ease your way in. You just need to shift her focus a little.
I'm being unkind. Anyone might have struggled with such imperfect tools. Goblins are prone to failure.
Yes. It's the goblins' fault. They failed you, General. Not me.
General?
Take Minthara below. Someone will have to consider her fate.
No! Please! Mercy! Please!
Bye-bye, princess.
And the goblins, General?
You, true soul. You have seen what these creatures are capable of, and you have seen their inadequacies, isn't that so? What is your judgment?
You know I'm loyal! Tell him!
Enough! True Soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause.
Thank you! I'm glad someone noticed.
I'm sure they were very enthusiastic. But zeal without efficacy is for children, not servants. We are too close to the ending, and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them, quickly.
What? No!
You creaking old bag of shit! I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again. Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, let us take advantage of our surprising guest and their particular creative genius. I'm sure the results will send a clear message to the troops on the importance of discipline.
Of course, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. They are yours. You can release them, kill them, or feed them to each other for all I care. Just deal with them. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake! Oh, praise the Absolute! And praise her true soul!
Mercy? You showed the goblins mercy? Ugh. The half-orc won't like this.
In another lifetime, you were greeted in this throne room like a god, not the living wreck you are now. Your disgrace has something to do with this Ketheric. You yearn to flay him until he forgets himself, as you have. Nothing sickens you more than a man who is unkillable. But to a veteran deviant such as yourself, it is but a matter of time.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn what fuels his power.
The words.
Yes, you did. She gives them to you fully formed. You hear?
Many hearts.
Adored Minthara, brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light. But it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires. Bloodlust.
Eu tive que ignorar a Umbra Eterna, tive que ignorar a Forja, tive que ignorar o Criador, salvei o Santuário Druida, né? Aí o mod trouxe a Minthara na Torres do Luar. Aí eu vou conseguir recrutar ela, aparentemente.
Minthara's mind connects with yours. Not strong as you remember it, but fractured, disintegrating.
Come to observe, true soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again. We are erasing her.
Pô, agora que não é pra falhar, velho.
No. This is our duty.
Peace, sister. Let us observe the true soul's methods. Perhaps we can learn from them. Her mind is yours. Break it.
Immediately, your mind is swept into a greater vortex, a psionic storm with Minthara at its center.
Cannot hide. Submit.
Her torturers are not dominating her. They are destroying her mental defenses and exposing her to something else. The Absolute.
Puta que pariu, velho. Porra, que cagaço.
Navigating the storm, you reach the nexus of her mind. It is a wound, bleeding raw emotion and shattered memories. But she senses your arrival.
So it is you who will end me. Make it swift, then. Anything to silence that thing. That voice. I would prefer to make these bastards bleed. But I trust that you speak from caution rather than cowardice. I will put my faith in you and pretend to be their slave.
Her mind fills with warmth, and she gently releases you.
Parece que deu certo, que legal.
Is it done? I did not feel her mind break.
Cara, e mais teste, velho. Eu não quero só alarme, eu quero salvar os Tiflin e os anão que tá preso aqui, os gnomos. Ah, mano, 18 de novo, velho. Aí é triste. Porra, nunca duvidei.
She does look a little vacant, sister.
No more anger. No more doubt. She is perfect. We ought to return to our posts, sister. There'll be plenty more prisoners to practice on. An ill thing to let an enemy show their back and live. Not an instant longer than I must. Make haste.
Pois é.
We must leave. Now. Lead the way.
Ah, ela fica... Porra, como é que eu vou recrutar ela então, cacete?
Minthara is supposed to be in a cell. You have some explaining to do.
Cara, eu não salvei, véi. Que merda, mano. Não! Ah, tá certo. Ah, que inferno, mano. Devia ter só dado o DP. Porra, que sorte.
The guard is happy
Sorte,
to
eu não
let you
tenho
pass.
inspiração mais pra usar.
Minthara is rather less happy about your choice of words.
We must leave quickly.
Vambora, mulher, vambora. Cadê a saída disso aqui? Vou pegar um F5, pelo amor de Deus.
Go on. Move. The quicker, the better.
Tá bom.
Here goes nothing.
Halt!
Deal with them, or I will.
We heard she'd been escorted from her cell. Not that she could leave the tower.
The General ordered that she be repurposed, not freed.
Ah, mais teste, mano. Nunca duvidei.
Creatures like her don't understand the concept of loyalty. Keep her on a tight leash.
Amém. Vamos, mulher. Sair dessa desgraça de lugar.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose. Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prism, your dream visitor, the protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby? Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
Tá. Beleza, beleza, beleza. Deixa eu ver se eu acho a Minthara. Olha lá, ela foi do lado do house ainda. Ai, caralho. Beleza.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind. Precisely. While our tadpoles live, and the cult have the means to control them, we will never be safe. We must eradicate them, starting with General Thorm. I mean Ketheric. My deference to him is a habit that will die hard, I fear. All that live can die. I can help you plot Ketheric's demise, but I need something from you first. Swear that you will keep me close. Until the Absolute is dead,
Mas é claro
at
que
least.
sim.
The prism will protect me. You will fight alongside me and help me to get my vengeance. I knew you were different to other true souls when we met, but I could see nothing clearly. Now, thanks to the prism, the Absolute does not cloud my thoughts at all. I see that together, we can have our vengeance on those who infected us. Rest well, and keep your wits about you. Tomorrow, we go to war with the cult of the Absolute. General Thorm would have the world believe that his invulnerability is a gift from the Absolute. That is a lie. intended to impress those who flock to the cult's cause, and to strike fear in the minds of those who stand against the Absolute. I believe Thorm draws his power not from a divine source, but an arcane one. Moonrise is a den of necromancy, and the most powerful practitioner of the art is Thorm's closest advisor, Balthazar. He has chambers beside the generals, on the upper floor of the tower. I suspect we will find answers there. Now, rest. We will need our strength for what lies ahead. I would gladly join you in the fight. Leave one of your other allies here, and I shall.
Bem, vou levar logo lá.
I am concerned for Karlach. She is strong, but even her courage may falter now that she knows how little time remains to her. It is not sentimental to appreciate a warrior's strength or a companion's courage. She is a fierce ally and has survived great torments and challenges already. We would be fortunate to have her with us until the end. I took up my oath long ago, when I swore bloody vengeance against any who defied Lolth. Now, I myself have sinned against the Spider Queen. Though my faith is shattered, my oath endures. I am sworn to destroy all those who serve the Absolute. It is not noble, it is necessary. If we do not destroy the cultists, they will destroy everything. We are all that stands between this world and annihilation. I was the Absolute's dagger. I remember every throat that it held me to, and every drop of blood it forced me to spill. I take no responsibility for the lives I took. I did nothing in the Absolute's name. I was merely a weapon that it wielded. You have my sympathy. The tadpole, the Absolute. They work together like a drug. I did not feel I was compelled to act against my will. I felt ecstatic to serve. Every action seemed a deliberate choice. The best choice. Even though I could no more have resisted its commands than flesh can resist decay. Even rational minds like ours cannot reject such a powerful influence. The Absolute can make the impossible seem inevitable. I fought at his side once, shortly after my conversion. Before the battle, he was everything a general should be. A charismatic leader with a brilliant strategic mind. And when the fighting began, he led his troops from the front and cut through the enemy like a scythe through stalks. Blows and arrows rained down on him, and before long, his face was a mask of blood. But he did not fall. He did not even falter. When we won the day, Ketheric's armor was bent and shattered, but his flesh was unmarked. Every chance, once he is stripped of his power, the necromancer Balthazar is Ketheric's chief advisor. One who has mastery over the dead may well be able to help the living cheated. We should ransack his chambers and see what secrets he keeps for the great general. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? It would have been better for us had she embraced Shar and claimed the power of the goddess. But it is better for Shadowheart to be free of that poisonous influence. The Night Singer has some admirable qualities. Far more than her insipid sister. But her followers are repressed. Take the child Shadowheart. She does not even know who she is, but still manages to pity herself. The very concept of Sharan worship is self-indulgent. They would have you think every whispered word and hidden thought is of value, but it is not so. I have performed 1,000 interrogations, squeezing out the most guarded secrets held in heart, mind, and soul. I can tell you this. When the trivial parts have been whittled away and I have sifted through what remains, in most cases, a person amounts to nothing at all. He's been deprived of freedom and strong blood for so long that he is addicted to both. While those addictions have their hold on him, he is still a slave. Free. What purpose does he have that does not involve his master? He fears him, he hates him, he dreams of him, and he will either kill him or die trying. Astarion is no more free of Cazador than you or I are free of our tadpoles. He will only be free when Cazador is dead, and that is as it should be. When the time comes, we must hope that he does not only take Cazador's long life, but the power that has sustained him as well. Then speak. Not directly. My memories were not removed. They were obscured by the Absolute's voice, by its presence. The tadpole is a conduit for that voice, not its origin. And while the prism protects us, the Absolute cannot reach us. As for the tadpoles themselves, for the moment I do not believe they are malevolent. They are incubating within our brain matter, not feeding on it. Is there a reason you chose me as your confidant in this matter? I do not have violent urges. I have violent intentions. If somebody angers me, I hurt them not because I lose control of my temper, but because it teaches them not to anger me again. If somebody causes me sorrow, I remove their ability to do so again. If that involves removing their head, so be it. But I do not lash out or strike without reason. There are those within Menzo Baranzan that we call Khalith Karthan, those driven by blood. They are the mad, lost to all reason, and subservient to nobody. Even Lolth, malicious and brutal as she is, cannot abide them. They kill, and cannot say why. So they are destroyed for the greater good. When you speak to me of yearning and urges to kill, I fear you are like them, controlled by a bloodlust that you do not comprehend. Killing is necessary. It is good that you can take pleasure in it. Just be sure that your urges do not lead you astray. We have enemies enough for you to sate your lusts on. We do not need to make more, because you indulge your every murderous whim. You wish to consult me? A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind?
I have never known anyone so ferocious and unassailable in battle, and yet so fragile and impermanent in their very being. I often think of mortality as a curse. In time, all that I am and all that I have known and learned will be lost. In time, our cities will be dust. Karlach does not seem to have such anxieties. Perhaps because she cannot afford to. She exists in the moment, and she will burn out and be gone in a moment. There is something very beautiful about that.
I have encountered few Githyanki in my life. Those that I did were raiders. They croaked out pleas for mercy in their alien tongue as they died. Meeting Lae'zel makes me wish I knew more of their culture. Whatever culture you and I once shared, it no longer has a hold on me, Loathsworn. You still listen to the whispers of the Spider Queen's web. I only obey my own heart's desires. Most Gith do not seem to know their own hearts, nor do they need to. They have strict hierarchies and commitment to a single cause. Even now, infected and far from home, Lae'zel stays true to the cause. That shows resolve. The wizard? No. It is pointless. In my experience, the moment they leave their libraries, wizards have the life expectancy of a gnome in a war. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Our wizard is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke. I will reserve my social graces for those who might live long enough to appreciate them. He is exceedingly self-righteous. Amusing, considering he bound himself to a devil. I will take your word for it. I only care that he is a good soldier, and he has not disappointed me on that front. I would rather be allied with a warlock than the spoiled son of a noble who has more experience with diplomats than devils.